Yeah, I'm not sure if you've come across in the research Henry Mintzberg's, the management writer and consultant. He had this idea of emergent strategy, and it fits with a lot of what you speak about, but also it fits with what happened during the pandemic. It's this idea that strategy, more so than leadership, in Mintzberg's writing, it comes from the front lines, from those who deal with customers, suppliers and other stakeholders, and that there should be more of a focus on the innovation and ideas that can bubble up from the organisation. And that strategy, became more prominent during the pandemic, because many organisations kind of had to feel their way through things, and it allowed for what seemed like more of an openness to strategy in the organisations. And did you see that becoming more prevalent and less emphasis on the top-down approach because of the pandemic? And is it a legacy, do you think? And I know some of this was happening beforehand, but was it accelerated, do you think? And would you agree with that emergent strategy piece that would probably fit nicely into what you write about on leadership?
I would definitely agree with it, and I subscribe to the concept of emerging strategies and emergent strategies and strategies coming from the ground up. Not just from my book point of view, which is that sort of empowered driver, but also just how businesses are being transformed, and the demands of now, and the sheer speed of change, and the need for everybody to be involved in that. This is why I argue that one CEO is not enough, and I think I would capture it by saying that strategy, there's always been a problem with strategy, and the problem with strategy is implementation. So 63% of strategy implementations fail, according to the Strategy Implementation Institute. When you add digital into that, that is almost 8 out of 10 times that it was failing. And and there's lots of kind of false starts, even from the pandemic, of course, quite naturally, as we're going that speed. So the leadership question has shifted from what we need to focus on to how to implement our strategy, and how to go further than that, embed the changes that we need at cultural level in the organisation, bringing everybody along with it. And that really is the foundation point for me for a more empowered organisation. This is a bold new age of empowerment we have the opportunity for, and that's what I argue in my book. And because it's been something that we've talked about for decades and decades. And when I was researching out there about, okay, I think I've got this great idea, there were lots of articles on empowered working and so on, but there was nothing in terms of a blueprint, no book that provided a blueprint for how to do this. And it was very easy for me to see why this failed, because the conditions weren't set at organisational level. There wasn't the global buy-in across the organisation. So this is a massive shift in mentality. It's a massive shift in leadership and management practices, because we're needing to be more operational, more how focused, and more implementation centred.